these together. There's not one sport that we coach or we work with at Boise State that's not a team sport. Yeah, track and field, there's some individual elements to it, wrestling a little bit, swimming and diving a little bit, but still, the last time I checked, they all keep team scores. So we're going to do all this stuff together, and that's what T stands for. That's the dictionary. This is how we talk about it to our players. We'll train as one. Everything they do, positive or negative, has an impact. They'll hold each other accountable to give their best effort each day. Okay? As a staff, within our staff, I'm going to allow our staff to work as individuals and explore as individuals within the framework of our philosophy and our core values, which is effort. So, it's not a slogan. All right, this is who we are, okay? This is actually how I live my life. I'm not Coach Hermann one day and then Adam at home. This is just me. All right, so all of these characteristics, these 6 values, these 6 pillars, that's how I try to raise my daughter. That's how I try to be a husband and a father, all those things. So that carries over. This is who we are. It's who we want our players to become. These are the values and pillars. It's a lifestyle. Every rep, every set, every day. So, one word amongst you guys. Is there one word you could use to describe the current culture that you work in? I've used effort for it. Don't be shy that all these guys just walked in here now. So, nobody has a word they could use? One word? Okay, that's fine. Something to think about, for sure. How about this? How about we flip it? Is there one word you could use to describe the culture that you want to work in? All right, well, again, we don't have to talk about it, but things to think about. All right? Definitely things to think about. Okay, so how do we make this work? And I'll go through these quick. We set clear, we're transparent, we set clear expectations. We make sure every staff member knows clearly what attitudes and behaviors are valued. Okay, because again, we're that mirror. We explain this in written form. Effort's all over our weight room. Okay, it's not something we're just going to plaster on the back of a shirt for the summer of 2016 and never really talk about it again. But it's in 3 distinct spots. Okay, we have a sign that defines what each letter is and how we define it as coaches within our program. That hangs up. We have another one on the front door to our fueling station that just says effort. And then we have a big one that says today's effort becomes tomorrow's result. All right? 3 pretty prominent ones, but we're not overdoing it, but they know it. We ask our kids. We have a plate that sits on the edge. We have 35 yards of turf right in the middle of our weight room. Again, we're pretty fortunate. And on one end sits a 45-pound plate. And we'll ask kids, student athletes, throughout the day, hey, what's the first letter of F stand for in effort? And if they don't know it, all right, they got to go push that plate from one end to the other. No bones about it, just go do it, come back, let's go to work, okay? But they know it, okay? Again, maybe they know it out of fear at first, but then they know it, okay? They know what we're talking about. Now you can ask a sophomore and they'll know it. You can ask a senior, they know every single one, they can tell you what they mean to them, all right? So they know. Does everyone associated with your program know what your message is? Okay, I have a lot of people I have to talk to too. Our sports medicine staff, they know what our message is. All right? Our academic people, they know what our message is. Compliance knows what our message is. All our administrators, our business office, our marketing people, our ticket managers, all people that walk through our doors or I have to talk with, they know what our message is. Effort's known around there. Okay? We hold people to high expectations. Okay? Just like you guys should too. Talked about players coming back years later and saying thank you and you've made a difference. No one's ever going to come back to you 10 years like, hey, thanks for making me do too little. Well, that was great that I didn't have to do so much for you. You know what I mean? They're going to come back and say, hey, I learned a lot from you because you held me to a high standard. All right? That's what it's all about. Be consistent, stress accountability, your actions showcase your culture. Again, if you say you want a certain culture and you want to do something, then you better be that person. All right? If you're not, they're going to see right through it. Okay? The one thing I have found as I've gotten older is kids have gotten a lot smarter. Okay? We can't BS it. Okay? They're going to see right through that. They want genuine. You're a walking role model. You're always on as a coach. Right? That's maybe the difficult part, is you're always on. You want to break, oh, it's the weekend, just want to hang loose and go out to the movies with my family, something like that. Well, guess what? If the student athlete sees you, you're not just, oh, he's off now, he's not coaching. So how are you behaving? You know, how are you as a person? Because if they see outside, you're always on as a coach. All right, that's the toughest thing to get through to, 23, 24-year-old graduate assistants now. Hey, you're not the player anymore. Hey, you're the coach, right? And you're always on. You're always making an impact, whether that impact is right or wrong. We talked about leadership a lot. In my viewpoint, everyone's a leader. If you have influence and people follow you, you're a leader. Okay, now where are you taking them? Down a good road or on a positive path? Hold every person accountable, assistant coaches, interns, again, this applies to me, but everybody in your program, okay? Make sure you're holding them accountable to the same set of standards and expectations. Methods are many, principles are few, okay? There's a lot of different ways to do it. But how you do it, again, is going to be more important than the method. Make the investment, okay? Great cultures are always growing and evolving. All right? Just when you think you got it all figured out, we better keep growing and evolving, or else there's no sustainability. You'll fall down that track. Okay? Just like the giant timber bamboo. Invest, cultivate the soil, grow the culture. All right? It takes time, but again, the greatest hurdles are leading to your greatest rewards as coaches. You guys said that at the beginning of this thing. Hire values-compatible people. All right? Talent's overrated. All right? It really is. If your values don't match up, regardless of how talented that person is, that assistant coach, maybe that player, success will be limited. Okay, we can all talk about that player who is super talented, but his values weren't the same as yours. Maybe yours was hard work, accountability, attention to detail, and he didn't do any of those things. Think sustainability. How can you build something that can last? There's lots of great coaches that have had a great season, but then after that, nothing's ever been built from that. How can you sustain something? It's built upon a strong foundation, a strong culture. All right? Fight complacency. Just when you think you got it made, everything's going great, you're ready to adapt and change. We've had great first years at a lot of places that I've coached, championship seasons. And then the second you think you got it made, everything's great. Hey, we instilled this. It took a year. We won a championship. We're playing the NCAA tournament. This is great. We got this figured out. In the second year, we've slid. So you got to go back and evaluate. Okay? Never get complacent. Don't get comfortable. Comfort's first cousin to complacency. And we talked about this. The programs and the businesses that sustain long-term are the ones, when they're on top, they're making changes. They're already kind of looking into the future and saying, hey, we got to change this to get better here. Okay? It's the process. So again, we don't have to answer these. These are just things you can think of a little bit. What things do you think are important to making a culture work? All right, some food for thought. I know that the kids are coming in like 10 minutes. What are the reasons behind the fact that some cultures thrive and others fail? Your thoughts, your opinions on that. So a quick review. It's a way of thinking or behaving. All right, they're your values. That's what culture is. It's your values. You, the leader, which all of you guys are here, whether you're the head coach or assistant coach, it doesn't matter. You're responsible for establishing the culture. Every member involved in your team responsible for upholding the values. How do we build it? Got to have some belief. Got to have some self-discipline, some courage. You got to be appreciative of other people. You got to be optimistic. Attitude to choice. Okay. And you got to have some patience, persistence, and some perseverance. The 3 Ps. How do you make it work once you've built it? Be transparent, set clear expectations, consistent, stress accountability, hold everybody accountable in your organization. Make the investment, okay? It was erased here, but it was great. I think it was one of the best things I've heard all morning was buy into the kid, okay? Make the investment. Kids nowadays, we know it. They're not changing, okay? So we can sit back and kind of complain maybe about them. They're not changing, okay? I think they're just a little bit misunderstood. But once they know that you're invested in them and we're bought into them, I mean, they'll do some great things. Okay? Hire values compatible people. If you ever get in a situation where you get to hire people, make sure you're hiring people with the same values. Don't hire on experience, hire on values. Right? You can always coach experience. Fight complacency. Okay, and this is in our weight room, not that big rock, but the science. Today's effort becomes tomorrow's result. All right, we believe that. What are you doing today? Okay, what kind of effort are you giving? And when we talk about effort, enthusiasm, focus, finish, opportunistic, resilient, and together, what kind of effort are you giving today? Because today's effort becomes tomorrow's result. And you got to earn the right to be on that stage. So thank you guys for talking. I know we kind of have a little transition period and then there, but I didn't put a slide on here for my email or anything like that, but if you guys ever want anything as far as this stuff's concerned, or if I can ever help with anything, feel free to send me an email. If you go, it's Adam Hermann, okay, just like it's spelled on that program, at boisestate.edu. So love to keep in touch and help you as much or as little as I can. Thank you for letting me be here. I appreciate it, guys.